good? Was good? Oh, before we start though, I'm not gonna lie. Need Ken to drop this. I'm gone, yeah. She gon' miss me when I'm gone, yeah. All these hoes do. Your life ain't the same without me, huh? Bitch, I told you. Bitch, I try to hold you, but I gotta let you go. This bitch must be all dope. This bitch must be all coke. If she don't think I'm no one, I do anything for you. I was there for you and nobody won. I need him to drop this shit ASAP. I need clean Sprite and 2 cups. She on G6 to bite. Boot up, she out them drugs tonight. I'm out them drugs every day. I'm out them drugs. She shaking ass, I'm throwing ones. We not in the strip club. Too many hoes, too many hoes. I can't fall in love. I can't fall for her. I put out the 4 and I'm around with a 4 and even got an ass on her. I'm doing that. Hold on, guys. Look at something up. I'm ready to crash out, box shot in, I just met her. She wanna go Margello. Told her she can go whatever. Told her we can go wherever. Told her we can go wherever. Yeah. High as fuck, huh? I can't find my key. Whole time they in my pocket. I'm about to drive to your bitch, put her on her knee. Yeah, I don't think y'all hearing this for real. She think that I'm cool, she like my swag, I'm about to get between them. Fuck these niggas on little. Fuck these niggas on bigger. Put your favorite rapper in the sweatshirt. Yeah. Now your whole fan base need tissue. Yeah. Nobody miss you. Alright, one more and then we're gonna get on the right topic with the Harden scenario. It's time to pull up, it's time to pull up, it's time to pull up. It's time to pull up, it's time to pull up, it's time to pull up. Yeah, bro. It's time to pull up, it's time to pull up, it's time to pull up. Huh, it's time to go down. Huh, it's time to go crazy. Yeah, I can't get with the sauce, but I can let her taste it. I'm whipping the bros race. I'm with your main lady. She said she like my voice. She wanna. Don't you love when technology doesn't work? On my songs, I'm like, God damn, that's crazy. Swipe the bitch out, right for another. Pass the bitch, yo, right to my brother. Cut the bitch, kick, rock scene, you better hit the biggest rock, break your ankle. Moving forward, I think, so I think that make me a great thinker. I'm in this bitch throwing haymakers. I'm in this bitch with the ass shakers. Put a little bitch on my tail later. Yeah, I'm put a little bitch on my tail later. Yeah, let's see what this is. Put a little bitch on my tail. I got it. Is you gon' get all out of me? Who the hell is this? Oh, okay.
Okay, it's the hardest. I swear to God.
We're gonna be okay.
Get that pay.
This ain't Fall Guys. I can't fall on you. I'm not a tall guy, but my money's 6'2". What you looking at, girls? Me and you. What you thinking, rough girl? Let it through. When I money drugs, can I count on you? When I fall in love, can I count on you? I love you so much, but I hate what you do. I say when my millions feel like Groot. I'm so high, bitch. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Feel like I could fly.
Alright.
My truck grow me wings too. That's the fucking questions I just shoot. I got drug endeavors, I pop pink and blues.
If you not ball hog, then die.
How much is your chopper? I think it's juice. Nigga wanna be friends, it ain't no juice. It ain't no friends in this bitch. I just fly as hell, I feel like a pilot. It's the NFL, play with balls, we gon' blitz. I just post on drop, I remember I saw the flip. I watch my eyes, hope they don't try it. She told me she love me, I don't fucking buy it.
Sweet, James
Harden. He could girl me, put him on an island. People keep on.
That's enough of the concert time. Oh shit. Alright, blam. Alright, so dude, what the hell? Yeah, everybody's been kind of talking crazy about my boy James Harden. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's the oddest thing in the world. That Cavs trade, when Harden went to the Cavs, Garland to the Clippers, I didn't even see it coming, to be honest. I heard rumors on it, but I think it's a. Is it a win-win? Yeah, I say it's a win-win because the Clippers were getting old, so they had nothing else to look forward to. I really don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I think Kawhi is not a Clipper at the end of the season. Going to next season, he's probably gonna get traded. He's most likely gonna get traded because this nigga's playing like a top 5 player in the world. Oh, and my Steam is up. He playing like a top 5 player in the world, so I believe they probably just kept him so that OKC doesn't get that draft pick. I ain't gonna lie, because if OKC get that draft pick, is bruh, it's over. So we're gonna see what this is about. I ain't gonna lie.
Harden was traded for the 5th time of his career in the 4th time in the past 6 seasons. I mean, for some guys, that's complete light work. Trevor Ariza throughout his career was traded an NBA record 11 times.
Harden was on OKC, Rockets, Brooklyn, Philly, Clips, Cavs.
Damn.
In a short amount of time,
who was just traded for his 8th time recently after also being moved to Cleveland. But for a superstar like Harden, who has requested or outright demanded most of these trades, this is rare territory.
I mean, yeah, he's undisputedly one of the
That shit was legendary, where he was shitting on Daryl Morey. That he's a liar. I don't want to be a part of any franchise he's a part of.
most talented NBA players of all time. One of the best scorers in the modern NBA. But yeah, he is hurting himself with, you know, jumping to a new team every like 2 years at this point.
Nigga put on a fat suit. He put on a fat suit, man, to get traded. Who's
Before
doing
we start
that?
talking about Harden's legacy, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss on any new videos. So for this video, we wanted to do a deep dive on each time Harden's been traded, see if he was in the wrong, was he justified in wanting out, or was it a situation where he didn't request a trade, asked to be traded at all, and he was just traded, you know, completely outside of his control. Obviously, Harden starts his career in Oklahoma City, a perfect situation early on, gets to come off the bench.
I wonder how OKC would have been with all of them
teams in NBA history, of course, led by KD and Russ.
Do we think they win it all with all 3 of them? I think they eventually do. I'm not gonna lie. And after he left anyway, OKC went to the finals. Oh no, he was part of the finals.
Quickly grows into one of the best 6
But
men in the
OKC
NBA, even wins 6
made
men
another
in
deep run. They just didn't beat
almost 17
Golden State.
points a night.
And that's
that
when
year the Thunder make it all the way to the
KD
NBA
pulled the bitch
Finals,
move.
but you fall short to the Heatles in 5 games. Harden specifically, you know, he was pretty bad in the finals. Averaged 12.4 points a night on 37.5% shooting. I don't really blame him. First finals, age 22, going up against, you know, Wade, LeBron, Bosh, everyone on that team.
Yeah, prime Heatles, right?
Yeah, exactly. But objectively, you know, to give some context to what happened shortly after, he did not play well.
Yeah, and then that summer, Sam Presti was left with a tough situation as Oklahoma City ownership didn't want to get into a situation where they'd be paying the luxury tax in the future, and both Serge Ibaka and Harden were due for extensions in the near future, so you had to pick between one of them, and they ended up picking Ibaka.
They still could have done something
in hindsight, but worth remembering
they were so close. They were right there.
Was going to be this good. I mean, it was obviously had potential, right? But he was in his 3rd year, and he was a 6-man averaging 17 points off the bench. Like, no one saw future MVP in this guy. Plus, the Thunder already had some good playmakers and scorers from the outside in KD and Russ, so it makes sense to lock up, you know, the defensive-minded big. But
that's
honestly,
funny that he played with Russ in Houston, and then he played with KD in Brooklyn.
Is the biggest mistake of Sam Presti's career, and that's a guy that hasn't made very many of them, but he blew it, boy.
You really blew it. Harden ends up getting traded that summer to the Rockets for Jeremy Lamb, Kevin Martin, 2 future firsts, and a future 2nd-round pick. So
wait, what was the package?
minded.
I did
But
forgot that
honestly,
Harden
it's
package.
gonna go down as the biggest mistake of Sam Presti's career, and that's a guy that hasn't made very many of them, but he blew on this one.
Harden ends up getting traded that summer to the Rockets for Jeremy Lamb, Kevin Martin, 2 future firsts, and a future second-round pick. So this trade, obviously, no blame to Harden whatsoever. Didn't ask for it. He technically could have taken a pay cut to stay, but
No, not when you're that young.
Exactly. You're not going to blame a guy whatsoever who's still on his rookie contract. He deserved the full max, and realistically, if you think about it, it might have been the best thing to happen to him on an
Yep, that
individual
was the
level.
best thing to
Make sure if
happen.
he stays with the Thunder, there's a decent chance he would have had a ring, but at the same time, he would not have developed, at least in my opinion, to the MVP he became with Houston. So now on the Rockets, Harden basically immediately became a superstar,
Yeah.
had an insane debut game.
It was like 37 and like 12 and like 18 or something like that.
Yeah,
That's where it
all
all
that
went
from
down.
6th man of the year to an all-star, made all-NBA third team, and finished 8th in MVP
Nigga,
voting
hitting
in his
step
first season
backs,
with the team.
Euro
That's pretty
steps.
Damn
good.
good. And after his first season, the Rockets became like fringe contenders with the addition of Dwight Howard.
Damn,
Harden
bro,
just the
but he
second
had
team
so
in
many
Houston,
teams. I don't know
finished
how it
first
didn't
team
work
with
out.
Dwight making all-NBA second team. Got knocked out by the Blazers in the first round.
I ain't gonna lie, I can't blame James Harden, bro, for everything he's done. Imagine you get traded to a whole new situation, to a whole new team, boom, and you become an MVP candidate. Every year, competitive, you're top three team in the West, always super competitive, always had competitive teams around you. But you run into a fucking dynasty. You run into Steph, KD, Clay, Draymond, prime warriors. And nigga, I think they were like what? 10, I think they were within 10 points of winning. Oh no, not winning, but like tying the game. So literally, if they just hit like 3 to 4 more threes, that nigga James Harden might have been in the finals. It could happen. Also, Chris Paul was injured too. So if he was playing, who knows? Who knows? Like literally a couple jump shots, like Harden might be a champion, and he might have not left Houston. Now that nigga's been chasing the rings, going to different teams. He should have thugged it out in Brooklyn. They would have I think they would have won. Even with the KD big toe, I think if them three, KD, Harden, Kyrie, I think if they stayed together, I think they would have won a ring eventually. That when they played together it was actually unfair. Thank God they didn't play more than like 30 games together, because that shit was actually unfair. But I don't blame them, bro.
No, so you know, 2 All-NBA performers, and you can't beat Damian Lillard.
A couple threes was his last chance. Oh, and a big toe.
Harden wasn't really good
Hey,
in that
bro.
series, and by the way, get used to hearing that phrase a lot.
After that, like,
because it
what do
happens
you
a
do?
ton in his career. Rockets did bounce back, made the conference finals the next year, but first round exit in 2016 would end up being Dwight's last year with the team. Rockets, though, improved the next season by a lot after hiring Mike D'Antoni, really elevated Harden's game to an even higher level, averaged 29 points while also leading the league in assists, finished second in MVP voting behind Russ in a race that he was really leading until the very end when Russ locked up.
He should have won that year.
Triple-double for the
But the
entire
Russ story
season.
was too
But
elite.
Once again, playoff
The Russ story was
disappointment
too
in the
elite.
second round
That
as he puts
storyline
up
was way too
10
elite.
points on 2 of 11 shooting and a Game 6 elimination loss to the Spurs where they lost by 39 points at home. And I'm pretty sure Kawhi Leonard didn't play
That
that game
nigga
for the Spurs.
Yeah, I
shit
think
in the
you're right.
bed.
It was just a straight beat down. Following off season though, you add CP3, you win 10 more games, capturing the best record in the league, and Harden wins his first and only MVP. Kinda another disappointing playoffs. I mean, I don't hold this too hard against Harden, but the Rockets, they were leading 3-2 against the Warriors in the conference
Yeah,
finals.
they could have
Of course,
won.
Chris Paul goes down, you get
Yeah.
blown out in game 6, and then the
Hamstring,
27 straight
big
missed
toe
threes in
away
game 7.
from
I mean,
Harden
Harden didn't shoot
potentially
well in those
having a
games,
ring.
but he's playing playing the greatest team of all time. His,
Dude.
co-star, co-ball
Harden
handler
with the
Chris Paul's
mohawk.
out. So this is one of the few years at least where I give him a pass.
I kind of do too, but at the same time, they were up 11 in that first half of Game 7.
That's true.
Had a double-digit lead at home.
That's true. The following season, though, is where the Rockets team just slowly declined.
Oh,
Harden
yeah,
was still
that-
insane in 2019, had one of the best scoring
Wait,
seasons
did Chris
ever,
Paul even
finished
play
his
that full
second
season?
MVP, but
Or is
he
that when
fought the
Russ
Warriors
came
again,
along?
this time the second round. Then they trade Chris Paul for Russ that offseason.
Oh,
Once
okay,
again,
so he
your
did have
second
another
round
year.
exit, this time to the Lakers.
Dude,
But-
oh my god, that Harden and Russ team was so fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Even though like you knew they weren't gonna win ish, they were so fun to watch. They were so fun to watch. The small ball, bro, they was running Robert Covington at center, dude. yo, that small ball era. That's crazy how like it 180 now it's jumbo. It's a jumbo lineup that every team is trying to run, but back then every team was trying to run the small ball lineup and spam threes.
And
Now it's
shortly
the jumbo
after that
lineup,
is when
but
we
still
got
spam
Harden's
threes.
First trade request. It starts with Daryl Morey stepping down in October. That made Harden kind of doubt the future of the Rockets. Could they continue to be contenders? So
And
he
they had
starts talking
PJ
to
Tucker.
KD
That
about
bro,
possibly
PJ
going
Tucker
to
was playing
Brooklyn.
center, bro.
Russ starts hearing that Harden wants to be traded, so then Russ demands a trade to, jump ahead of it. Russ gets traded to the Wizards, and it took a while for the Nets and Rockets to agree on a deal because if you're the Rockets, why rush to give up?
Russ should have stayed on the Wizards. That's one of my hot takes. He should have never left. But I kind of get it. They were kind of not doing nothing. Him and Beal. He was putting up some stats in Washington. He should have stayed there. Just end the career there. But
Up, this MVP,
80s, what
this
80s?
incredible player. So Harden becomes frustrated. It results in him having a heated exchange with Jayshawn Tate in practice. Of course, he deploys the fat suit.
Yep.
He showed
Yeah,
up
the
late for
fat
training
suit is
camp.
absolute
Also, a couple
legendary.
days before the trade officially went down, he just says to a reporter, the Rockets just weren't good enough. But finally, he gets traded to Brooklyn. Now, the way he went about requesting this trade, all the antics, the fat suit and everything, was f***ing ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was immature and everything. I do kind of see why he wanted out. He wasn't wrong. This Rockets team
Sure.
wasn't good enough.
They were not.
John Wall and Boogie past their primes, really wasn't going to do anything. But it was the first of, many situations where it's really, this is how you're going to go about it?
Yeah, now on to Brooklyn. The Nets immediately became one of the title favorites with their stacked big three of KD, Harden, Kyrie. Fully healthy, one of the best big threes of all time. But unfortunately, that first season completely derailed by injuries. Harden hurts his hamstring against the Bucks in the second round. Kyrie injures his ankle. Harden, will give him props. He came back and he tried to play, even though he really should not have. And, he just couldn't do much to help KD as the Nets fall in 7 games to the eventual champion Bucks. Falling
oh, you know who they fell to? You know what I'm saying? Hey?
year was the whole saga with
Hey,
Kyrie
bro.
deciding not to get
Giannis'
vaccinated,
legendary
so he was unable
performance.
to play home games. He was away from the team to start the year, and it was just a whole.
And that's where that
big,
legendary
mess
clip
in
from
Brooklyn.
Riv came
Compare that
from.
with KD spraining his
Don't
MCL
forget.
in January, and Harden just became frustrated and disillusioned with the situation in Brooklyn. Now, Woj did report he didn't formally request a trade due to the fear of public backlash and whatnot, but he made it clear wanted to move to Philadelphia. So before the deadline, he got sent to the 76ers for Ben Simmons, Andre Drummond, Seth Curry, and 2 first-round picks. Hard to defend Harden here because if he had literally just waited a month, most of the problems with the Nets would have mended themselves.
That's what I'm
Kyrie was back
saying.
playing full-time.
If Harden stayed on the Nets, they probably would have went back. They probably would have had a deep playoff run. They probably would have made the finals. No one in the East was really messing with that team. I'm not gonna lie. The Bucks, they got kind of bailed out with KD's foot on the line. I'm not even gonna lie. They kind of got bailed out, and Kyrie got injured. Even though they were still looking like they could have won easily, but not easily, but they could have won. They could have just swung the team right back. Dude, no one was messing with that 3. They still had Claxton. Cam Thomas was coming off the bench. I think they still had Bruce Brown. That team was actually nice, bro. He should have just thugged it through, man.
time KD was back.
Kyrie wanted to be Socrates, man, and KD's toe was on the line. Like, without that, like, they would have.
Like June and July, request the trade then. Why were you so eager to leave?
And the other thing is, like, you're leaving KD and Kyrie, two guys who have won championships. They know what it takes to win.
For fucking Joel Embiid.
Yeah, for fucking Joel Embiid. You're mad that KD and Kyrie aren't playing.
That was crazy.
So you're gonna go join Joel Embiid?
Yeah.
It made no sense. I guess there was reuniting with Daryl Morey. I mean, spoiler alert, he was gonna regret doing that. And yeah, just another fellow playoff choker in Embiid. This just felt so short-sighted. Like you mentioned, you wait a month and a half and you could have ran it back with Kyrie and KD, and maybe you don't do anything that season because I think they got like the 6th seed or something.
Maybe they do better with Harden, though.
Yeah, maybe they do better with Harden, or maybe the year after that they could have done something. Maybe Kyrie and KD would have stayed if Harden was still there, but regardless, he's on to the 76ers in his first year with them.
Sixers did absolutely nothing.
Season. Not surprisingly, he struggles in the playoffs. I mean, they beat the Raptors in round 1, but you follow the Heat in round 2 in a series where Harden just didn't play well. He had one good, like, game 4 performance, and besides that, he just wasn't good for them. You know, it's what he does in the playoffs.
Nah, but that one Harden game against the Celtics, I'll never forget that. That nigga was straight fucking balling, bro. Balling without Embiid. But I don't know, them two, they just don't work together. Their play styles just doesn't fit.
Deal. That allowed the 76ers to bring in some former teammates, PJ Tucker and Daniel House.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
Trying to make Rockets part 2.
Second round, this time falling to Boston. And Harden did have a couple monster games in this series. I think it was game 1.
He did, bro. Especially that game winner, too.
A clutch shot. But in game 6 and 7, holy shit, the dude just fell off the earth. He was terrible.
I feel like James Harden in the playoffs, it's like roll a dice, and if you get a 6, then you have a really good game. Anything else, it's just a stinker.
It's such a gamble. Yeah, he's either elite or he's just ass, like super ass.
Maybe he'll have 2
There's
if
no
the
in
series
between.
goes 7, but not any more than that.
Yeah.
So partly because of that, and also because of his age, Daryl Morey and the Sixers were unwilling to give Harden the full max. He then opted into his player option, with the plan being that the 76ers were going to trade him. But after trade talks stalled, Harden proceeded to call Daryl Morey a liar in front of a bunch of...
This shit was legendary. When that nigga... in China, bro, these niggas don't, mind you, they don't speak English. Like, a lot of these people, they don't speak English, so they probably don't know what the hell he's doing. He's sitting up there with the microphone live, calling Daryl Morey a liar, just shitting on him and saying he's not being a part of that organization, and he was still under the 76ers. I don't think he was a free agent.
Genuinely one of the most unhinged and crazy
that
things
shit was so
NBA
funny
has ever done to try to force through either like a free agency or trade move. Like,
hey, he stood on business.
Is honestly, like, kind of pathetic.
I'm so glad.
Nah, it wasn't pathetic, nigga. That shit was legendary, bro. Hey, man, imagine you took I don't know how much it was, 8 to 10 mil, around that, of a pay cut. They promise you, all right, we're going to give you an extension. We're going to give you that contract, and that money that you did take a pay cut for, we're going to pay that back to you, and then you don't get it. Nigga, I'd be up here calling that nigga a liar too.
Video of it though, because if that didn't exist, it
honestly,
would be unbelievable.
It would be, first of all, like, people are still like
legendary
about trying to find like Wilt's 100-point footage. Like, if that didn't exist and we just got the report of it, it would be the greatest lost media in the history of sports, I think.
In some ways, he kind of has a point. You know, he took the pay cut.
Sure.
The plan was, like, if you opt in, they were going to trade him, and then trade talks completely stalled. But at the same time, yeah, it just looks
legendary.
It looks pathetic. But somehow Harden, the kind of theme throughout this all, he keeps getting his way, because shortly after this, he was sent to the Clippers in exchange for Batum, Covington, KJ Martin, Marcus Morris, and a couple future firsts. Despite, you know, starting 0-5 with them, they eventually, you know, found their groove, won 51 games.
Yeah, at one point they were pretty good.
In round 1 in a series where Kawhi played 2 games, but really was hurt and wasn't himself whatsoever. Then last year, despite Paul George leaving to join the 76ers, Kawhi missing over half the season, the Clippers surprised a lot of people. Still won 51 games
Paul
again.
George.
But once again, you're a first-round exit this time to the Nuggets. Honestly, like 2 tough first round series, but you wanted to go the West. Like, it's honestly partly Harden's fault as well.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you're going to get the team that goes to the finals as a 5th seed, and then you're going to get the Nuggets with Jokic. This is out here. It's not the East, buddy. It's not the East. So that leads us to this season.
Kawhi, though, that nigga was not playing.
Mainly because of their age. Had a god-awful start to the year, 6-21 through their first 27 games, but they've rallied kind of miraculously, honestly. They were 23-25 at the start of February, but then out of nowhere, we get reports that Harden could be traded to Cleveland. Like early, like Tuesday morning, these reports come out, and I remember looking at my phone and be like,
shit was so random.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, and it ended up
so
going down
random
later that day for Darius Garland in a 2nd-round pick. And like Harden has said, he didn't request a trade. And to be honest, like this situation is a little different than like Houston, Brooklyn, Philly. As we said in our trade deadline video, this trade honestly kind of works for the Clippers. Like they get younger, they don't have to give up draft capital or any more players.
And they don't gotta like tie a big contract to them.
But I think it's a decent enough trade for the Clippers. You know, a nice little risk reward thing for them. But that makes it 4 trades for Harden in the last 6 seasons. And for a player the caliber of Harden, like it's kind of unprecedented in NBA history.
Yeah, it's not like Russ where he's been struggling to find a spot, or like Chris Paul, same thing.
Like Vince Carter at the end of his career when he clearly was just a role player. Like Harden's averaging 25 and 8 this year.
Yeah, he's arguably like an all-star level player, and it's just insane that he continues to move teams. Like you mentioned, like this situation is different.
Is this what it is? Him and KD cut from the same cloth, bro. It is what it is. If that situation ain't working, they're not scared to leave.
All these trades adding up like this ultimately is going to be part of his legacy, especially the way he's went about a lot of these trades, you know, requesting them pretty publicly. At least it's not a secret whatsoever. Completely like quitting on teams and basically doing whatever he's needed to do to get his way. In the past, like I think it was around a year ago, I pushed to make a puff piece on him because
you did, yeah.
I feel like his actual play on the court is underappreciated.
So right about
the
that.
Playoff choking is there, but he's also had some tough circumstances, had to go up against those prime Warriors. But at the end of the day, like looking back at his legacy, sure, you're never going to forget the MVP season. You're never going to forget the insane score in that 2019 season. But also, like, the playoff choking and all these damn trades are going to be remembered as well. He basically represents, like, everything a lot of people hate about modern NBA superstars.
Yeah, like the diva who, like, you know, quits on a team at the first sign of adversity.
Yeah.
Publicly, you
he
know,
is a diva.
In the locker rooms, like
him and KD, man, same DNA.
Yeah, request trades. It's just like, for me, it's the fact that he always just seems to skip out at the first sign of like something going
exactly.
wrong. It's like,
yeah, that's just like, funny. Any small thing that goes wrong, Harden's out. Like dead ass. Any small thing, bro.
Just like stick around for like a half a year. If he had done that with most of these scenarios, it probably would have ended up correcting itself, right?
So yeah, we'll
if
see
he
what
stayed with Brooklyn for
it's a
another season.
Now situation. Maybe he's
all right, that's pretty much it to that video. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, Harden should have just thugged it out with the Nets. Stayed there, they probably would have won. I really think no one was really messing with that Nets team at all. But yeah. Hey man. Harden's still that guy. He's still an all-star. So, I don't know why everyone's like shitting on him. All right, and then let's see what else. Oh yeah.
The NBA has a problem.
All right, now we got the dude, I'm sorry, brain fart. NBA teams ain't even hiding it anymore yet. NBA teams with the tanking shit it's kind of getting like very ridiculous, like how the Jazz they did not play all their players in the fourth quarter. It's shameless tanking. Not even discreet. Just out there. But for this class, I ain't gonna lie, you can't blame them.
The NBA has a problem.
Hey, I do the same thing for DeBonster or Darren Peterson.
In jeopardy of becoming a laughing stock. Because with 3.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter of the Utah Jazz...
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie, Paulo Banchero, that's a separate video.
Recent game
what
against
happened to my boy?
Lauri Markkanen hit this layup to bring his points total to 27 on the night and give the Jazz an 8-point lead. Lauri Markkanen finished this game with 27 points.
That
was
shit
his
is
last
funny.
possession of the game, and the Utah Jazz lost to Orlando by 3 points. And you might be wondering, what kind of injury Lowry picked up to miss the final 15 minutes of
Did
a
they
game
even put an
that
injury
the Jazz
report?
were
Or
winning?
they just
the
flat
same
out sat him
injury
down?
that Jaren Jackson Jr. and Yusuf Nurkic picked up. Because with a 7-point lead entering the fourth quarter against Orlando, 4 of Utah's 5 starters did not play. And whilst Keontae George actually did pick up an injury, the Utah Jazz decided, we are going to sit our 2 best players, the 2 top scorers for either team at the time,
Yeah,
and our starting
no
center.
shame.
They didn't try to
No
hide
shame.
it. They didn't try to lie. They went out and played a professional basketball game with one intention: lose that game. And Utah aren't the only team doing this right now, because the Washington Wizards have already decided Anthony Davis and Trae Young are finished for the entire season.
Nope. There is no glazing for these teams doing what they're doing. I don't think y'all know how good Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsta, Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson. That draft is loaded. I'm not blaming no teams for tanking. I'm not blaming no teams for tanking this year. Fucking tank. This is the year to do it. The other previous years were the year to do it, but it's not as good as this draft class, I'm not gonna lie. Like last year, last year was pretty good, but if you didn't get in the top, I would just say if you didn't get in the top 10, it didn't really matter. But like this year, like this, bro, that shit
the same
booming,
Anthony
bro.
Davis that was just playing a month ago injured his hand and apparently is gone for the rest of the season.
Well, he's
Trae Young,
always
who
injured.
apparently sprained his knee and is out for 3 months. And in case this wasn't bad enough, how about everyone else the Washington Wizards are sitting? These guys aren't even good.
Wait, hold on. Oh, against the Nets, they sat out Keyshawn George, Sar, Bilal, this is a nasty tank job. I'm not gonna lie. This is nasty. Not even letting the young niggas get burned. This is nasty. This is nasty work.
Aren't even good yet. They were losing
That's
whilst
nasty
they
work.
were playing these guys, but there's at least an off chance that they could win, so they are sitting everyone. They are playing guys who haven't even been in the league for the last several years. At least with Utah, you can claim, oh, we'd rather get Kyle Filipowski minutes than Lauri Markkanen. Keontae George and Alex Sarr are in year 2. There is no reason to be sitting them. They should be developing.
Not
right
letting the young
now.
guys
but
get
you are so
burned
afraid of
for the
winning
tank.
games that you were sitting
Against
these
the
guys.
Nets.
They had a
Because that's
roster
how
out
shit
there
the Nets are. That's how shit they are. They can't even play their players that are in year 1, year 2, and year 3. That's
2 nights ago that was
That's
worth
crazy. But the Nets don't gotta
$13
try. They're really that
in
dog
salary.
shit.
Duncan Robinson makes more money than the entire Washington Wizards roster from just a couple of nights ago. And why? Because of mysterious injuries to second-year players. And it's not just these 2 teams. This is a widespread issue, unlike any we have seen. Even before the season started, the owner of the Nets, Joe Tsai, said this: "We have
Tsai.
1 pick in 2026, and we hope to get a good pick. So you can predict what kind of strategy we will use for this season." And this is only getting worse.
Yep.
Because another team is about to enter these levels of tanking as well, with the Indiana Pacers making a deal with the Clippers that essentially ensures that if they finish in the bottom 3, it is a coin flip for them either winning or losing that draft pick. If they finish outside of the bottom 3, those odds get much worse. So you can assume what the Pacers are already going to do. And
The Pacers kind of bugging for that pick trade. I'm not gonna lie, because I kind of didn't understand how it worked when they traded that pick. But if they don't come out top 3 or bottom 3, sorry, they're losing their chances dramatically.
And we're already seeing it with Ivica
I
Zubac
wouldn't do
ready
that.
to sit
That's
out
some,
with
that's
an
some big
ankle
cojones you gotta
injury.
have
And
to
for
do that.
anyone unfamiliar with college basketball, there is a reason for this.
Yep.
There is a reason
Talk
Utah,
about 'em.
Washington, Indiana, and Brooklyn are tanking at levels we haven't seen in years. This is a draft so good, so stacked, that this was a report that came out earlier this year. And whoever these executives are,
Oh, they're kind of
lose their
tripping on that
job,
too.
should
If Cooper Flag was in the 2026 draft, he'd still be number one. He'd still be number one. They say goes lower is like 5th or 6th. Hell no. Hell no. He'd definitely be top 3. No, he'd be top 2. Nah, he's still a better prospect than all of
be
them.
fired from
when he was at
anything for
Duke.
the foreseeable future, because that is one of the worst and most disastrous takes you will ever see.
Hell no.
But regardless of the hyperbole, one thing is for certain. This draft has 3 number 1 level picks in it. And that's without mentioning Caleb Wilson, who is getting better by the day.
Caleb
And
Wilson's
this is
right
why
there too.
teams are tanking. We aren't stupid. We know there is a lot of value in finishing low in the draft.
Like, if
But
you have a
guys,
top 4
we're
pick
just over
in the draft, you
halfway
can't
through
go
the
wrong.
NBA season. We haven't even hit
With any
the
of them.
All-Star break. If the Utah Jazz won that game against the Orlando Magic, they'd be 17-36. Sure, it would be a long shot, but they'd still be a chance at the play-in. I mean, who thought the Charlotte Hornets would win 10 games in a row? No one. There is always still a chance for Utah to make
I
the
just
play-in.
hope the Bucks
And
don't
they're
try to
just
win, man.
forfeiting all of this
Please.
with over 30 games left. in the
Tank for me,
season.
5.
And you
Please
make
tank
these
for me.
decisions before the season. If you are a team trying to tank, like the Washington Wizards, well then you trade all of your veteran players. You trade Kyle Kuzma last year. You bring in old guys like Chris Middleton who make $30 million and are washed. You play Alex Sarr, Keontae George 35 minutes a night. This is trying to tank. You can't then tank on top of tanking. And it's not like the
Yep.
NBA is unaware of what's going on. Obviously, anyone
fully
with
aware.
eyes can see, but also a couple of years ago, we saw the NBA make a statement.
Let me ask you about this news today from the NBA.
Oh, yeah, when they
concerning the
arrested
Dallas
Luka,
Mavericks,
man.
who were
That's how they
fined
got lively.
$750,000
Hey,
by the
it
league
works.
for what they did going into the last
It's
weekend of the
unpatched.
season when they sat everybody, played Luka Doncic 1 quarter.
Because they still had a chance to make the playoffs.
The reason they got fined, they were stupid and talked about it.
And that's the real reason they did it. They didn't find the Mavericks because they rested Kyrie Irving. They fined the Mavericks because Mark Cuban came out and said, "We are trying to lose." And Dallas did this because if they had have won,
No shame.
they would have made the play-in, but they would have lost their top 10 protected pick to New York. And call me a hypocrite, this is not nearly as big an issue as teams starting to sit players and bench players with 30 games left in the season. And the fact these teams are doing this, the NBA
Really?
has to start investigating this. We've seen Jonte Porter, Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, Malik Beasley. These guys are getting investigated for gambling. The integrity of the league, that is what has been said.
Dude,
We have
if David Stern was still the commissioner of the league, none of this shit would go. None of this shit would slide. The tanking, the gambling, these players, how they act off the court, bro, that shit would not go down, bro. Hey, man.
Teams deliberately
We
losing.
know
I
why the
promise
NBA is
you,
becoming the
Jonte
worst
Porter
product.
missing a couple
We know
of
why.
threes and then sitting on the bench
why.
is less disrespectful to the integrity of the league than Larry Markkinen and Jaren Jackson Jr. sitting for 20 minutes because the Jazz do not want to win. And the real question is, how does the NBA stop this? Well, let's be real, a $750,000 fine is not going to stop that. That is like charging one of us $10. Well, this was the idea of flattening the draft odds. Following the Trust the Process 76ers, in which they tanked
That
at
shit
levels
was.
we had
That's also another gross tank job. Trust the process. Deadass just keep tanking and tanking.
The NBA made a change, deciding to flatten the odds, giving the bottom 3 teams the same chance at the number 1 pick, and the preceding teams a similar chance. To the point where we have seen the last 2 first overall picks go to teams that weren't even close to the bottom 5. And from that perspective, it's working. From that perspective, the NBA has done a good job. But it hasn't stopped teams from tanking. Because teams know if they finish in the bottom 3, the worst that will happen is they get the 4th or the 5th overall pick. And in such a stacked draft, that's tantalizing. And
Bro, I don't think y'all understand these 3 right here. Oh, I think DeBonce's stats are outdated. I think he's leading. I'm pretty sure he's leading college. So, y'all don't get it, bruh. Y'all not getting like these 3. No, but you gotta add Caleb Wilson to it. They're going to change franchises. They're going to change franchises. So that shameful tanking,
and this is where it's a tough situation.
You gotta do it.
Because teams still need...
You can't miss out on that.
There are teams that are bad. Like I said, the Washington Wizards deserve a chance at a top pick. We all know they need it. We all know they're a young, a rebuilding team. But they don't deserve it through these ways of getting it. And you know what? This makes me respect one franchise, one team, all the more. The only ethical team left in the league, the shining light of our league.
Who's
with
the
the
ethical
Wizards
team?
and the Jazz and the Nets all deciding to lose. There's one team that stands tall, one team that goes out there and says, we are going to win every single night, but we'll still lose every single night. The Sacramento Kings. You are the one standing ethical team.
No, the Sacramento Kings are not ethical, nigga. They're just a poverty franchise. Like, it's not even like they're trying to be bad. They're just bad. Just everything about that franchise is just fucking horrible. Everything. There is not one glaring light about Sacramento. There is not. Not ethical, not one bit. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, man. What are they doing?
That they sign guys like Russell Westbrook at 37 years old to take Devin Carter's minutes. A team that plays Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan 35 minutes a night. That will play Domantas Sabonis instead of Maxine Reynaud, hindering his development. A team that wants to win at all costs, but is so bad, so ethically bad, that they are still the worst team in the league. And for that, the Sacramento Kings, I tip my hat to you. Because in a league full of teams trying to lose, you are trying to win, but you are so bad, it's not even working. Shout out the Sacramento Kings. And when we talk about fixing this, like I said, it has to start with investigations. If you can find out Kawhi Leonard is getting paid money by Steve Ballmer through a tree planting organization, then you can find out what is wrong with Trae Young, Anthony Davis, what is wrong with all of these players that is forcing them to miss so many games, that is forcing them to sit on the bench in the 4th quarter. You can find that out.
Yeah, that Kawhi and that tree planting shit, that shit was hilarious. That all he had to do was post on social media. Couldn't even do that. And they just lied about the company.
And you can get to the bottom
under the
of this,
table.
And too many teams are doing this right now.
Like I said, David Stern would not let that slide.
Is playing 82 games a year. What is the point of it if half of those games are filled in by teams that aren't even trying?
It's really about the end of that, but dude, actual like, hey man, there's no word to being said. Like, y'all see the prospects. I'd do the same thing if I'm a franchise. Shit, y'all not gonna stop me from getting Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsa, Cam Boozer, or Caleb Wilson. Fuck that. All right, I think there's one more thing to see, but I kind of want to play Overwatch. I don't even know. I'm just trying to think of what I want to do. Dude, I haven't gamed in like forever though. Like, I might look kind of like stupid trying to game. Oh no. I'm still debating that. I don't know, guys. Debating whether to load up the game Overwatch or just watch one more video and call it then. Cause I'm like too cooked to kind of game. Nah, that might be all she wrote. Can't even lie. Let's get A0. I really don't know. I really don't know what I want to do. Hold on, let me bring this up here. Oh, there you go. So y'all can have chat. Put that up there. Now, honestly, that might be cut short. What I will do, though, I'm gonna put y'all on to some heat. Then we'll call it a stream. Cause your boy's a little too cooked. I ain't gonna lie. Kind of baked from the day. Yeah. This is what we're gonna do. Let me see. What can I put y'all on? Oh, we could go old blown, I ain't gonna lie. Oh, dude.
Yeah, if I ever told you that I love you, it's true. Gotta stay silent when you with this. I just been coasting, then I'm swerving the coupe. I'm not so excited, but my doors is full. The hoe wanna sponsor to that little thight bitch, I'm not endorsing you. Yeah, I just want to get it. I've been in dreams like Fetty. Her body covered in ice, I'm a Yeti. My boy gon' stay on my side with you too. She tryna ride, I told her that just keep it steady. She said that she ready to do it. I want my game, yeah, we having confetti, we throwing up ready to lose. I just drew out my whole damn gang. I put some whole new ice in my chain. I put the head up, now she insane. For the SV, I step on my range. I sip drink, don't sip right. I'm with a dance bitch, I don't pop lock. I put out black on all my cars. I put out black clothes on my bars.
Actual go.
Way past mine. My hair right there, everybody side.
Hey man, going back then.
I caught the blue 100 racks like a virus. I count
genuinely, like, he was the best on you.
These niggas broke that shit so sorry. Can't let a lane hang, that's my game. Yeah,
if I ever told you I love you to the street, you can stay silent when you with the zoo. But my door, I'm not. But my doors is full. Y'all not hearing. Y'all not hearing. Y'all not hearing it how I'm hearing it.
My boy gon' stay on my side with you too. I'm out of the pub and go to the moon. I like to cash out and do what I do. I like to hop on the plane, fly all the way across the globe, and touch down to you. I don't like your shit and what he's trying to pull. I don't like with a fine bitch with a mouth too much. That shit not cool. I have a racks, I can pay that fine, bitch. But I'm not gonna do it. So I'm the top floor boss. Anything I say go, that's just what we doing. Man, I'm so exhausted, cause counting up money is all we doing. These niggas keep on talking, but I just think it's funny, cause they ain't doing shit. These niggas keep on disturbing my peace, I think that's ludicrous. Keep a micro stick tucked in up and listen bad. Bitch, I move with it. I had to keep my tool with me. Yeah, it gotta move with me. So I just pull your phone out, up your camera, we shooting a movie. Yeah, if I ever told you that I love you, it's true. Gotta stay silent when you with this. Wasn't been cold, then I'm swerving the coupe. I'm not so excited, but my doors is full. The whole one is sponsor to that little thight bitch. I'm not endorsing you. Yeah, I just would be getting.
I think I got another song I can think of.
My boy gon' stay on my side with you too. She tryna ride, I told her that just keep it steady. She said that she ready to do it. I on my game, yeah, we having confetti, we throwing up bread in the lure.
No. Hold on. Now, wait. Let me see. I saw a part of my playlist. Can we find it? I didn't get the Che hype for a while. I fully get it.
What a bitch. I see bitches,
Hold on.
but I ain't made a body. Oh really? Cat that nigga silly. I've been for a killer.
I don't know lyrics, but
need it from my kidney. Turn out a bit no kitties. Now my track got whiplash. I smell your bitch ass. I see I'm a relapse. Yeah, I chip his mismatch. Back on your dick ass. He wants my sativa. Get him fit, got shit back. It's exotic minerals. Back you still in a zip bag. That ass was my kick. Yeah, they wanna come to a kickback. That nigga's right on my dick.
Dude, how did we go from this to Rest in Babes?
In a swisher. Tell your bitch throw it back. I'm tryna make this hoe get thicker. I'm seeing my liver. Right off on my dinner. Barring hoes don't need that. It smells like a torpedo.
Oh, and that shit went into the next one.
I see bitches doing nothing extensive body. Itching, heavy shop, but I ain't made a body. Oh really? Cat that nigga silly. I've been for a killer. Be pillin' silly.
What else? Dude, what's happening outside my place? Let's see. What else? Oh.
What going on, alright?
What I'm supposed to do when these racks blue? What I'm supposed to do when these racks blue? Who the fuck he gon' shoot when I tell him to shoot? been that since I G. Bags, get that shit. Cross hard list. Already let that beach. I ain't stunned that shit. I ain't nothing like my daddy. I ain't Wayne Beach. I'm for a foreign dress. I'm a bad bitch, I ignore the beach. Fucking these hoes like it's foreign beef. She had you crazy for the dick. On the east side, I'm on those seats. I got the money, I count up the deeds. I done ran shit up to me. I'm on my pride, you know that I did. Hellcat brand new key. Hellcat brand new key. Slippery on my feet. It don't cost a fee. The hell I tell me. So bring that one up me. AP Johnny money. I kinda need the beat. What I'm supposed to do when these racks blue? What I'm supposed to do when these racks blue? Who the fuck he's gon' shoot when I tell him to shoot? I know you scared, I know you scared to shoot. What I'm supposed to do when these racks blue? What I'm supposed to do when these racks blue? Who the fuck he's gon' shoot when I tell him to shoot? I know you